There's this image we have of him, the small guy who rose to become the most powerful man in Europe, the military genius who conquered most of the continent, the man who spread revolutionary ideas from Vienna to Moscow. He is a legend, a symbol of power, ambition, and perhaps evil. We think we know Napoleon Bonaparte, but do we really? Did he really do all those great things, or was he just lucky? And if so, how did his contemporaries see him? What were his strengths and weaknesses? Let's find out together. We are living in an age of heroes. In fact, we might say that we are living through a new golden age of heroes. And there is one hero in particular who stands out amongst the rest. The small man with a big personality, a soldier who became emperor, Napoleon I. This is the story of the man who shook Europe to its core. Napoleon, the name alone evokes images of military genius, ruthless ambition, and ultimately tragic downfall. He is a legendary figure who dominated the European landscape during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. But what made Napoleon so fascinating? What was it about this Corsican-born general that captivated the imaginations of millions? To understand the secrets behind Napoleon's enduring allure, we must first explore his military genius. Napoleon's military genius was nothing short of legendary. He was a master tactician and strategist who led his armies to victory in some of the most epic battles in history. From the Italian campaign to the Battle of Austerlitz, Napoleon's strategic brilliance was on full display. He was a charismatic leader who inspired his troops to great feats of bravery and sacrifice. But what truly set Napoleon apart was his ability to anticipate his enemies' moves and exploit their weaknesses. He was a master of deception and psychological warfare, often using trickery and misdirection to gain the upper hand. Napoleon's military genius was not just about brute force or overwhelming firepower. It was about intelligence, planning, and an uncanny ability to read the minds of his opponents. He was a true master of the game of war, and his legacy as a military genius continues to inspire awe and admiration today. But Napoleon's story doesn't end at his military achievements. He was also a shrewd politician and administrator who completely transformed the political landscape of Europe. As first consul and then emperor, he implemented sweeping reforms that modernized France and established it as a major power on the European stage. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal system that is still in use in many parts of the world today. He also reformed the French tax system and established a merit-based civil service. Napoleon was a champion of individual liberty and equality before the law. He abolished feudalism and serfdom, and he introduced a system of public education that was open to all boys, regardless of their social class. Napoleon was also a patron of the arts and sciences. He commissioned countless works of art and literature, and he established the Légion d'honneur, one of the highest orders of merit in France. So what was the secret behind Napoleon's success? What made him so much more than just a military genius or a shrewd politician? The answer lies in Napoleon's personality. He was a man of contradictions, a complex and enigmatic figure who was both ruthless and charming, ambitious and self-destructive. Napoleon was a product of his time, a revolutionary who was shaped by the ideals of the Enlightenment and the French Revolution. He was a man of the people who rose to power on a wave of popular support. But he was also a man of immense personal ambition, who was willing to do whatever it took to achieve his goals. Now, let us take a moment to appreciate the brilliance of this historical figure and the impact he had on the world around him. Napoleon was a man who defied the odds. A small guy with a big dream who managed to achieve more than most people could ever imagine. He was a brilliant military strategist, a shrewd politician, and an enigmatic personality. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at some of the amazing things Napoleon accomplished during his lifetime. First, let's talk about his military genius. Napoleon was a master tactician and strategist who led his armies to victory in some of the most epic battles in history. He was known for his ability to anticipate his enemies' moves and exploit their weaknesses. At the Battle of Marengo, for example, Napoleon managed to turn a potential defeat into a stunning victory by exploiting a small detachment of Austrian troops. This kind of tactical brilliance was on full display throughout Napoleon's military career. But Napoleon's genius wasn't limited to the battlefield. He was also a gifted administrator and reformer, his first consul, and then emperor. He implemented sweeping changes that modernized France and established it as a major power in Europe. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal system that is still in use in many parts of the world today. He also reformed the French tax system and established a merit-based civil service. These administrative reforms helped to create a more efficient and effective government, which in turn helped to secure France's position as a major player on the European stage. Moreover, Napoleon was a true visionary who was able to see beyond the limitations of his time. He was a champion of individual liberty and equality before the law. He abolished feudalism and serfdom, and he introduced a system of public education that was open to all boys, regardless of their social class. Napoleon was also a patron of the arts and sciences. He commissioned countless works of art and literature, and he established a Légion d'honneur, one of the highest orders of merit in France. These cultural contributions helped to enrich French society and pave the way for future generations of artists and intellectuals. In conclusion, Napoleon was a true Renaissance man who excelled in every field he turned his mind to. He was a brilliant military strategist, a gifted administrator, a visionary reformer, a patron of the arts and sciences, and above all, a man of the people. His accomplishments continue to inspire awe and admiration today, and his legacy as one of the greatest figures in world history remains secure. Before we go any further, please like this video. If you enjoy learning about Napoleon, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week covering all aspects of Napoleon's life and legacy. Despite his successes, Napoleon is often remembered as a villain. But is this portrayal accurate or unfair? To delve deeper into this controversial figure, it's important to explore both sides of the story and separate the truth from the myths. On the one hand, Napoleon was a dictator who seized power and crushed any opposition. He was responsible for the deaths of thousands of people and caused widespread destruction across Europe. His military campaigns were often brutal, and his empire was built on conquest and oppression. On the other hand, Napoleon was a liberator who spread the ideals of the French Revolution and helped to overthrow oppressive regimes across Europe. He was a champion of individual liberty and equality before the law, and his reforms helped to modernize France and pave the way for future generations. It's important to note that Napoleon was a product of his time. He lived in an era of great upheaval and change, a time when the old order was being challenged and new ideas about government and society were emerging. In this context, Napoleon's actions should be seen as an attempt to navigate the turbulent waters of the late 18th and early 19th century Europe. Ultimately, whether we view Napoleon as a hero or a villain depends on our own perspectives and values. Some people admire his military genius and his ability to achieve great things despite the odds. Others focus on his authoritarian tendencies and his willingness to use violence and oppression to achieve his goals. It's up to each of us to decide how we remember Napoleon and what lessons we take away from his extraordinary life. For some, Napoleon is a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder that even a small guy with big dreams can make a difference in the world. For others, he is a cautionary tale of what happens when ambition and power go unchecked. Regardless of how we feel about him, there's no denying that Napoleon was a complex and fascinating figure, who left an indelible mark on history. His story continues to capture the imaginations of people around the world, and his legacy will continue to be debated for generations to come. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with your friends and leave a comment below with your thoughts on Napoleon. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more videos on Napoleon and other historical figures. See you next time.